Hey guys, Forristicat here once more. Not much in terms of fandom that I really wanted to speak about in particular, but I realised that there was a couple of things I wanted to get off my chest. Mainly a couple of top 10 lists. So the top 10 list for movies is going to be a tricky one. I'm going to work it out. But yeah, looking at my PC here, I've noticed that I have a top 10 list of my favourite games of all time, and I think that they sort of do stand the test of time, which is probably the reason why I wrote it in my top 10 list to begin with. So I thought, even though I've done audio reviews like way back in like 5 years ago or whatever about these top 10 games which I consider to be the best games of all time, I thought, you know what, let's rehash some thoughts, put another video out for talkbackworld.net and discuss these games. So yeah, it's going to be a short video review, so let's get into it. Number 10 is Max Payne 2. So I guess what I liked most about this game was the dark noir elements and the sort of the comic strips in between. And I mean, just the cover, we got Max and like Mona on the front cover, and how it's like a very like dark, depressing tale, but nevertheless, like you still want to get into it and like defeat your enemies and see how the story progresses. So I think that whenever like a story is intriguing enough for you to want to play the game purely to see how the story ends, that is a great game. And this is what happened in Max Payne 2. And there's a lot of great one-liners in there. I'm not sure if this came from another series or whatever, but like the one I remember most about Max Payne 2 was like the beauty of the whole, and that is like no matter how much time you spend climbing out of it, you can still fall back down in an instant. And this was really what made me interested in Max Payne 2, was like the very clever writing, the sharp dialogue, the animation, or rather the illustrations of these cutscenes, which were very interesting. And I always love in video games where like you can turn on a TV or something, and the TV sort of shows like a sort of preview of like a world. Well, it's sort of like a preview of like a sort of like a insight into a TV show or a movie or something like that. And that happened in Max Payne 2. Like you turn on a TV show, you're like Captain Baseball Bat guy, and there was this other horror story going on there. And I think they did this in Alan Wake as well. So and of course the Grand Theft Auto series. So any video game where you can like turn on a TV screen or like use a computer, and like the developers can put anything they want in there, really adds to the, I guess, dimensions and complexity and messages or themes of the video game they're trying to create. So yes, Max Payne 2, after all this time, I'm definitely still liking this game. Number 9, Red Dead Redemption. So I mentioned this in one of my other videos that I really thought that the Grand Theft Auto franchise needed to step out of this sort of urban, like Los Angeles, New York City parody environment in order to do something fresh. And like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I was very surprised where all of a sudden I saw this poster in one of our local gaming stores here in Australia saying Red Dead Redemption. It was like painted like in the style of the Grand Theft Auto series. I'm like, this is great. And of course, as soon as you play it, this is like an amazing Wild West game. And my ex-friend and I, like, we always liked Western movies, and this is like, you could play this forever and like just explore the landscape and get lost in the game forever. And it didn't lose its touch of these like characters in the story and your emotions, like especially the moment where you first go to New Mexico and that song kicks in and just like riding off into the sunset. That is like a magic moment. Like I said, magic moments are few and far between, and whenever you encounter one, you've got a game that you're probably going to remember for a long time afterwards. And of course the ending and what happens in the storyline is shocking and very intriguing, and the fact that it's such a detailed game that is still detailed enough, just like the Grand Theft Auto series, is a testament that this game is probably one of the best Western games we'll ever play. Number 7, Fallout 3. So what can we say about Fallout 3? Well, it's like anything that can be described as like a haunting nightmare, or like, you know, a beautiful horror story, stuff like that. Those congruencies always interest me, and for, you know, Fallout 3 was interesting because it did have that sort of, you know, haunting effect that, you know, just like wandering the landscape. And the thing that really did it for me for Fallout 3 was the music. Like, what are you going about? You can literally do whatever you want, and you got this like 1950s music playing in the background. It was that sort of jarring of reality that really got to me. And, you know, once you've heard enough songs, you know, of course this is from Fallout Vegas, but, you know, YouTube, you know, In the Shadow of the Valley, and like try, you know, not to get nostalgic to that, because and this is the thing, like, these games making us listen, you know, some of the BioShock series, you know, they're making us listen to music we wouldn't normally listen to, and that sort of, you know, is driving you know, it's exposing people to things they wouldn't normally be exposed to, and whatever medium in fandom that outlet is expressed in, yeah, I think it's a good thing when people are like doing something which is sort of outside of what they would normally do. What can we say? Fallout 3, massive effort. Same with you know, Morrowind and, you know, Elder Scrolls series. Huge world to explore. Very lonely, but at the same time you sort of enjoy yourself. Okay, what's next? 6. I got what's it? Sorry, number 7, Mass Effect 2. So, yeah, given the disaster of you know, Mass Effect number 3 with the ending and stuff, which, you know, I didn't fully put my thoughts out upon, Mass Effect 2 really did make a good improvement on, yeah, Mass Effect 1. And oh man, like the whole you know, how many times have you gone outside and you looked at the sky and like wondered about all the different planets and universes out there, and like the Mass Effect sort of game universe really sort of like brought to a, you know, realistic reality. You know what happens if like we could communicate with different you know, pardon me, galaxies and like universes, and imagine if we actually had to deal with politics like this. And it's done in a very serious way that I've personally, like, obviously there's probably like books about this written or whatever, but I've never like seen anything like this, you know, done before. Like it was very realistically done, especially like the codex, just the amount of detail that this codex went into from all the different alien races and the history and stuff. You know what, like obviously like it wasn't put together, you know, haphazardly. Like someone sat down and wrote these things and interconnected the different conflicts and stuff. And of course, like obviously, like as a commentary on like the different countries we have in our world, it really blows my mind that it's like a sub-commentary on like the one planet we live on, and the different countries and cultures we have on just this one planet, but expanding it to an entire universe, which is to say that we have so much conflict on planet Earth. Well, imagine what else is happening outside of us, like on a different planet, on a different solar system. And, you know, given the choice to, of course, make your decisions in this game, make your own face, although of course Mass Effect 3 had massive issues which I was very angry about, you know, not being able to import your face, which is going to connect you to the character. That was a problem. Was also, you know, going to add to the favour of everyone liking this game. So Mass Effect 2, out of all the Mass Effect games, is going to be the game in the trilogy that I remember the most. Number 6, Uncharted 2 Amongst Thieves. So I mentioned before that I got my PlayStation 3 for another game in the series, which is coming up in this list. But of course, you know, as soon as I got the PlayStation 3 console, I'm like, okay, I remember reading a review for Uncharted, the series, so it's going to be good. I remember like reading some magazine, it said something like, you know, Indiana Jones, eat your heart out or something like that. So I'm like, sweet. So yeah, basically, I mean, there's no simpler way to put it, but Uncharted 2 is probably like the most action-packed adventure I've ever played. So maybe there's something else out there that I haven't played before, but personally, I mean, like, I'll always remember the voice acting is like, it was really incredible. So not Nathan Fillion, I forget the guy's name, but yeah, the guy that does the voice of Drake is really great. Like, he really is a good voice actor. I know he's done voices for like Assassin's Creed, I think, or Mortal Kombat or something like that, or Gods of War. But yeah, like he really does like put those different inflections in his voice which communicate emotions within a game, and Uncharted 2 is no exception. But of course, the sheer amount of action within this game is just really mind-blowing. It really does humble me, like how much we've come from, and how much we have to look forward to in these future console generations. Of course, the third one in the series was a disappointment. They lost their footing, I reckon, and they sort of sure there was action there, but it didn't feel as cohesive as it should have been. But number 2, like I said, I always remember like a helicopter shooting a Tibetan hotel down as I slide down through a window where I'm shooting bad guys, crashing out a window only to pick up a rocket launcher in order to defeat that helicopter. That moment is just insane. And of course the train scenes where you're running on a train and you have to shoot these bad guys down, unbelievable, really unbelievable. Okay, so next one, number 5. Let's see, 10. Okay, 10 is Max Payne 2, 9 is Red Dead Redemption, 8 is Fallout 3, 7 Mass Effect 2, 6 Uncharted 2, 5 is Uncharted 2. Okay, well, stuff it. Let's go to number 4. Number 4, Fahrenheit. So Fahrenheit is a game developed by Quantic Dream, and I'm really surprised I sort of didn't get interested in this company more. Before when I did, and that's because this company sort of like is in exact alignment with what I am looking for in video games, and that is emotion. And I remember reading some article where their headquarters in France somewhere, like they got like a massive office or whatever, and they got one sort of word written up on the wall, and that is emotion, and sort of that's their sort of a motif or company slogan that if what you're doing, programming, writing, experiencing is not evoking an emotion, you're doing something wrong. I think this is a really smart idea because, like I said a billion times before, the best parts of fandom is going to make you feel some emotion. Why? Well, if you don't care about it. If you don't care about it, well, it's probably not a good piece of fandom. So the fact that this company called Quantic Dream has focused on this aspect of fandom means that, well, you know what? They're probably going to produce some pretty good games. And of course, one of them is Fahrenheit for the Xbox. And I didn't get to experience this originally. I think I downloaded as sort of like a Xbox Live content for the Xbox 360. But the premise is this guy is but implicated in a murder that he didn't commit, and he gets paired up with this this other investigator. His brother's involved. There's all this like weird supernatural, admittingly Matrix-like elements to it. But I mean, this is the first game I played where I realized that, if you can take the time out to experience these like slow time moments, they're going to help your connection with characters, and when the shit hits the fan, you're going to enjoy the game and experience that much more. Number 3, of course, Heavy Rain, also done by Quantic Dream. So this is the reason why I bought a PlayStation 3 console, because I remember like a friend advertised like some sort of promotional game advertised on the Quantic Dream website where you have to catch the origami killer in advance or something, or investigate clues from them. Unfortunately, I got it spoiled by going on Facebook. My mistake. So I knew who the origami killer was ahead of time. That really, 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 really diminished my appreciation of the game. But the fact that I liked it still indicates that this game is really intense. And you know what, like all these reviewers have been saying, like it really was like you were playing a movie. And yeah, of course, as you would expect, some people are like, what the hell, I want to play a game, I don't want to watch cutscenes, I want to just play a game, have fun. But you know what, this the cutscenes here add to the effect of the interactivity once you take control of your characters beyond those cutscenes. And I mean, this game was really something. Like, I've never played anything like this before. It was very emotionally draining, very intense, and the fact that you could bounce between different characters and they all sort of connected, and the sort of motivations behind the reasons why the origami killer became the origami killer was very intriguing, to say the least, and it sort of made sense, as fucked up as it was. And when I only played this game once, I felt like if I played through it again, it would be like taking away from the experience of the first time. But all you have to do is YouTube Heavy Rain introduction sequence and watch that, and tell me that that's not a piece of art, and I'll tell you that you're a liar. Number 2, Shenmue 1. So, okay, Shenmue 2 obviously came out, and Shenmue 3, I think AE2, which is the company that is developing this under Sega, don't have the funds for this. But you know what? Shenmue 1 is the reason why. Actually, not the reason why. I bought a Dreamcast purely just out of my like for Sonic the Hedgehog. But once I heard that this game, Shenmue 1, was out, it had multiple discs, it was like an excellent game. It had a very interesting cover. I'm like, okay, I have to try this. Like, this game is spanning multiple discs. Obviously, it's got a lot of a story to tell. I like my stories. So, wow, what can I say about Shenmue 1? I guess this is sort of getting towards childhood memories and stuff, and I mentioned this in one of my videos that the closest, in my opinion, something is towards your childhood in terms of TV shows, books, video games, movies, whatever. The criteria, this is not to say that it's crap, but you're gonna like really hold that to be really good. I'm not saying that's wrong or right. I'm just saying like you're gonna enjoy that a lot, and you're probably never ever gonna knock that rating that you give to that piece of fandom off its quote unquote pedestal purely because it's something that you experienced at a very like a vulnerable young age. And yeah, Shenmue 1 was no exception for me. So the whole idea of this guy, Ryo Hazuki in I think Kyoto, Japan, I think, or Hong Kong. I think that's Hong Kong is number 2. Forgive me, my memory is hazy. This guy called Landy like kills his father, and he has to sort of start investigating his murder. It really intrigued me, and once again, the simple things made this game. So just investigating like Japan and like catching buses and stuff like this. And like I said, it's really counterintuitive that the simple things in games that we do in everyday life anyway are the things which interest me a lot because it connects me to these video game characters. Like, I guess in Grand Theft Auto a little bit extreme, obviously, when they start picking up guns and stuff, but nevertheless, like, if you ground something in reality, I think it's going to have a much more effect because, yeah, you can relate to it. It's like, yeah, I've done that in real life. Okay, let's take it to the next level. And the fact that, they even investigated the weather and stuff and program weather to the day, and there were certain cutscenes you could only access in different times or on certain days, this, that, and the other. And yeah, the sheer storyline was fantastic, and of course Shenmue 2 built upon that. And the part where Ryo Hazuki went up a hotel, he almost called Landy, and you see him going out from a helicopter, and he like flies off into the sky. And of course the ending of Shenmue 2 where you meet this girl in like this village. It's always like green leafery around. It's like very nature. It's very much a nature scene, and the story just ends there. You know what? Like that is really a shame. And yet, if there's one thing that really saddens me about fandom is like great stories which are unfinished. Because of course you can make up fandom and like scenarios in your head of how the story would end, but you know what? You want the official source. You want the. I mean, obviously, when someone starts a story, they've got an end in mind, and I really want to see what's his name, Yu Suzuki's vision for where the story was going to end. I know that he had like a fantastic ending to this story, but it's in his head. It's not out there, so I'm gonna have to make it up myself. But Shenmue 1 was a fantastic game, and if anyone of you guys have played it, you'll understand why. YouTube, Shenmue 1, what's the name? Naomi motorbike scene. Watch that, you'll understand what I mean. So number 1, what is my favorite game of all time? Well, you probably know this. It is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. So I haven't played Majora's Mask. I saw my Nintendo 64 before that, but I heard it wasn't as good as this. Nevertheless, this is once again going back to the childhood memory syndrome, because I played this when I was growing up. I bonded with all the characters, but probably above all else is like the Ocarina tunes and the words of wisdom from the Sheik characters, which really made this game phenomenal. And the storyline was fantastic. It according to Nintendo Power or something, it really sort of set the bar for level design and control systems for games to come. All of these factors really gave Legend of Zelda a deserved 10 out of 10, which it should be for all time in my opinion. So, I mean, you guys know about this, I'm not going to explain anymore, but Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is still my number one game of all time, and there's many reasons for that, and if you don't know about that, well, then you're probably not ready to know yet. Alright, well that's it from me, that's all I have to say. I want to put out some video out, so here it is, my top 7 games I believe, so 10 Max Payne 2, 9 Red Dead Redemption, 8 Fallout 3, 7 Mass Effect 2, 6 Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, 5 Fahrenheit, 4 Heavy Rain, 3 Shenmue 2, 2 Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and well, obviously I deleted something from this list, but you know, off the top of my head, you know, like the Bioshock series was great, like Bioshock 1, Bioshock 2. Bioshock 3 was really fantastic, taking it to new heights, literally, on top of the sky. Great, fantastic. Time travel. You know what, I'm really excited to see where the next generation of consoles take us gamers, because there's some crazy worlds out there, there's some interesting stories to tell, and if they're offering, I want to experience it. Goodbye.